Ladies and gentlemen, TTVE_thin. We are live almost every single day. Chat, say hi. We are live right now. Ryuku Sensei. I think he is one of the only people that understands my gripes about the Echo economy. And so I've made a million videos on this, and now we're making 1,000,001. You know, so let's watch Ryuku Sensei's video, Wuthering Waves, biggest problems. You know it's serious when he doesn't have a jacket on because he's fuming already. He's fuming so much that he's already sweating. We love Ryuko. I love him. The only man in the space. The only man in the space. We got to get praise for this Ryuko Sensei. I'll drop a pre-like. I did comment earlier saying I've been waiting for this video. I spelled video wrong. Fuck, I'm dyslexic. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's go.
Let me say that again. It sucks.
Oh, let me run it.
Farming and leveling echoes in Wuthering Waves sucks. Let me say that again. It sucks.
Let me break down why he's wrong. The reason why you're wrong is that you're bald.
I enjoy so much about this game. The story, the characters, the exploration, the combat. But when it comes to actually finding and leveling echoes to be used in that combat,
it's you always go Lando.
Nightmare.
How you feeling? How you
Video,
feeling? Good morning. Good morning.
Kuro could fix the experience scarcity issue and also the tuner mechanic. Now, before I start, I know I'm going to have people in the comments saying things like, there isn't an experience scarcity issue, you just have echo management issues.
Thank you,
I've got hundreds of tubes and many characters build up. See, there's no problem with the game. It's you. If you just level them in the steps and tune them once, you can get more than enough to have several different steps with no problem. It's not experience that's the problem, it's the tuners. Yeah. What?
By the way, thank you for the follow. It's very simple. The way you fix this is either you just remove tuners, you have a domain where you could farm tuners and Echo XP, or the data merge. Once you merge X amount of echoes, you get X amount of echo tubes and tuners. If they don't want to make the echoes fodder, which is fucking horseshit, at least allow them to be data merged into XP and tuners. Also, yeah, I don't like the argument of roll better or I don't like the art. My account has low investment and I'm able to clear the content, but I'm also not the average gacha player, you know? And so a lot of people fuck up and they start the game and they start rolling their echoes. This is a lot of people's first gacha games, believe it or not. I can't tell you how many times we've gotten that. And so I just think that there is a problem. And although the problem is not applicable to every single person, but even a lot of, endgame people still have this problem. It just still sucks, man. I think it still sucks. It was good, Blue. I also think this is a issue they won't budge on. I think this is their one issue where they're like, we're not touching it. Also, good morning. Yeah, I got to check out your messages. If you manage Echo XP better, you better run into a tuner issue, but you also run into some block. It's like you will always get a problem, regardless. Yes, it is better than Hoyoverse games. Sure. I like this analogy, though. If I take a shit Tuesday and I take a diarrhea on Friday, they're both still shit. Right? And so there is still a massive problem with it, especially tuners. Tuners is a fucking problem.
Whatever, shut the fuck up. Just because you...
Bro, I literally defended him, and he's
you personally haven't run into the issue doesn't mean it's not an issue. Especially when what determines whether you have enough experience or not is dependent solely on RNG. Case in point, I have two accounts, both at Union level 80. How is it that on one account I have 800 tubes ready to go, but on the other account I have literally 0 and struggling? I'm doing everything exactly the same. Could it be that it's not the player that's the issue, maybe it's the game? So anyone that wants to come at me with that can just fuck right off. Now with that out of the way, how to fix echoes and tuners in Wuthering Waves. First up, echoes.
Good for us. How you feeling?
Specifically, the echo experience scarcity issue. There's no way to say I think that echo experience should be infinitely farmable. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And how I think they should go about that is by implementing these 5 changes.
I will say I think infinitely farmable is not realistic. And that's why I think the data... I want to hear his thought process before I say anything. I'm not going to... But I do think infinitely farmable is a little too much. So, but I want to hear what he has to say. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because obviously I love Ryuko heavily. So yeah, let's see.
We should be able to use useless echoes as experience fodder, which will take time, but at least it's free. The second one is the tacit suppression cost should be lowered from 60 to 30. If not, then at the very least, 2 times the drops should be available 3 times every day. These increased rewards also apply to the amount of tuners too. And if you think that's too much, just wait until the next section because it will all make sense. Also, tacit domains should only have 1 type of echo set, not 2. I think they should also put these tacit fields in lore-accurate regions as well, but that's not exactly necessary.
Yeah, I don't think that really matters.
The next thing we need is an echo experience-only section at Yan.
I think the tacit field being to one singular one, I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. I think a better option would take the ZZZ system. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but when you do the ZZZ system, you're able to focus the echoes, the artifacts that you want. So I feel like that is definitely the best way that you can counteract this. They literally have a domain. No, I'm pretty sure, unless this is just for talents. But yo, Luck, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Welcome in, man. I'm pretty sure. I know it's for talents. But isn't there like a domain in ZZZ is where you can farm specific discs? Or am I wrong? For crafting, you could focus, but for farming, it's still 2. But you can still pick the 2 specific ones, right? Artifacts still have 2 discs. Okay, so... Oh, no, there isn't. So disk drivers are in pairs. Got you. Okay. Well, so then they should just take the ZZZ system of... I'll look into this after. They should just take away the... They should just take that ZZZ one. You're wrong for farming. You can craft specific. Okay. Also, it was a good clue. But not farm them. Okay. I think it's very simple because I do know that ZZ has something with your talents at least where you could pick specific talents. So I think you could just make a system where it's like, here's a domain, same cost. I want to farm these 2. I don't think making it 1 per tacit is a good idea. They're bossy, but they are in sets. Gotcha. Okay. You're thinking of the plans. Gotcha. Okay. It's just for talents. Artifacts are paired to domains like others. Got it. Well, I think that's the great thing, man. Wuwa has the opportunity to change that and make it completely different. So I think that would be fucking sick if they did. Also, we have a massive react after this as well. But let's dive in. Okay. D to me, but you could farm level master. Got you. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Dan.
We've got one for character experience and weapon experience. I think we should also have one for echo experience as well. A nice to have thing they could also implement is to remove the non-set elemental damage buffs. If not this, then at the very least, make it weighted so that you have a higher chance of getting an on-set elemental damage bonus. I'm tired of getting Spectra on the Glacier set and Glacier on the Spectro set. Now, these changes would address some of the echo experience issues and also some of the RNG, but let's not forget there's also another aspect to Wuthering Waves echoes, tuners. Now, I've heard many people get annoyed and say that they should just remove tuners altogether, and quite frankly, I don't really agree. Like, I get it, I totally get it, but I'm going to argue that Kuro should keep them in the game. However, I think there should also be a massive overhaul about how tuners are used in-game. This is how they fix tuners. Right now, when you upgrade an Echo at levels 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25, new substats are unlocked after you tune them for 10 each. And if you get bad rolls on substat RNG, you can recycle these Echoes to get a portion of that experience and tuners back to reuse. However, what I think they should do is that at those respective levels, the substat type, but not the amount, should be visible. However, they are locked and do not affect any character that equips them.
1000%. NTE did something very similar to this. Neverness to Everness had a very, very, very similar. I will say that was the biggest W about Neverness to Everness. Is it tells you specifically what the stats are, and I just think that is a great way of you don't even have to see what the number would be. If you, that like I think it's okay to still have some level of gambling because you have to keep player retention and whatnot. If you could just see these stats and not know the number, I think that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? Loom, thank you so much, brother. Welcome in, welcome in. Sensei, a fucking beast at suggesting quality of life. The thing is, I pre-wrote this video for Ryuku. So, like, everything I agree with, I wrote for him, and everything I disagree with, I didn't write for him. Probably someone else wrote it, you know? Is the game out already? Now it's out.
Until you tune them. This will help players decide when and where to effectively and efficiently use these tuners. But here are the new mechanics I think they should implement. Right now, the cost to tune an Echo is 10, but for 5 times that amount, 50 tuners, they should allow you to re-roll the substat type before unlocking, which is where you get hit with some more RNG to determine how much attack percent you get, for example. So RNG plays a role in what other substat you get and also how much of that substat you get as well. But that's not all. For 20 times the amount, 200 tuners, I think they should allow you to specifically choose the substat you want. But just like before with the substat reroll, they should not allow you to choose the amount of that substat that you get. So you could...
I don't think necessarily substat focusing is bad, but I don't think it should be that accessible. And I feel like if you're going to make substat focusing, I don't think it should be tied to tuners. What's going on, brother? 200, that's too much. I don't think that would be the correct way to go about it. I think if you're going to do this, I don't think it should be 200 tuners is not accessible. I mean, you'll just have it from playing tacit fields and stuff. I don't think tuners should be used for that. I think like maybe use a different resources. Go to paper, but it fucks with the people that don't have a lot of tuners. 200 tuners like 2.5 days. No, it's doable because you need 5 items per character. I also feel like the problem with focusing stats that really just takes away a lot of, it does take away RNG, and I'm not 100% favor in RNG all the time, but if you can just focus crit damage or crit rate fucking all the time, the game will get boring. The very perfect example of this is Destiny 2. They have a crafting system now. Well, they kind of toned down on it, but the crafting system dropped. The whole point of Destiny 2, it's a looter shooter, was that you play the activity over and over and over and over and over again. Now, granted, there really wasn't a time limit, only on the raids, but you play the activity over and over till you get what you want. Now, that could be frustrating, but also be bad. They introduced crafting, and that killed the game. Like, it killed RNG, it killed the game, and it was kind of just like, this is boring. Long, welcome, my brother. Things went to the follow. So, I'm not 1000% against this, but I do believe if this were to be done, I don't think it should be done with tuners, and I don't think it should be done with. It shouldn't be like a accessible like for every echo for every character. Crafting in D2 made the game better, so a lot of people say that, but unfortunately, the player retention and the activity retention says otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And I get why people feel that way, but yeah, it's you need some sort of replayability. And by doing this, you eliminate a lot of replayability. So.
You have 12.6% crit damage or 21% crit damage, or anything in between. This allows for potential continuous improvement of echoes for those sweaty players that really want to min-max. These changes also play into the lore of what a tuner is.
Yeah, totally.
A tuner is something that you use to tune an instrument to the correct sound you want, after all. Using tuners in this way allows you to be able to craft echoes to have the exact stats that you want to build your characters and also to be as strong as you want for a price. As I said, 200 tuners for just one stat, it's not an insignificant amount. And if you wanted to craft one singular perfect echo, that could cost up to 1,000 tuners. And also, don't forget, you need 5 of these echoes for just one character. So a possible 5,000 tuners in total. Okay, now some of you may be thinking,
I don't know.
All these echoes, all this experience, all those changes to tuners giving players any degree of control over their echo rolls, that would break the game and remove any of the incentive for players to continue playing.
Oh my god, like you're watching the stream.
Would it? Really? Would you quit? I don't think so. Having tuners be used this way also incentivizes people to continue playing, to use wave plates on tacit fields to earn the echo experience and also to earn these tuners to guarantee these stats.
But even then,
there are many games out there that rely on players to repeatedly play dungeons and other domains in the hopes of getting decent equipment for just one character. There are also games which allow you to max out multiple characters too. I mean, I've personally spent hundreds of hours leveling each character, each of the heroes on Dynasty Warriors, for example. And we already have 29 characters in the game right now with many more to come in the future. With the systems I've laid out, there are still significant but reasonable levels of RNG with understandable mechanisms to give players something to work towards if they continue to play the game. These systems create enough incentive to continue playing without the absolute futility of pure RNG, which
I think the idea itself isn't necessarily horrible. I just I don't think the idea is horrible. I just think like the execution of it would have to be good. And I just don't know if there's really any gacha game that has honestly gotten down that reroll / focusing yet. I mean, obviously out of the big gacha games. If they did it, they'd probably be the one to make it work, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I feel about this.
Does lead to player burnout because it's happened in this game and also many other games that have these systems. I've already seen multiple people say that they're going to drop Wuthering Waves because of the RNG. So like I said, with the tuners, it should be 10 to tune, 50 to reroll the substat, and also 200 to choose the substat. But these numbers can be flexible. I don't know where the balance should lie. This is just something I give as an example. So they could be higher, they could be lower, perhaps maybe 300 tuners for the substat selector. But even still, I don't think we should be afraid to implement systems like this just in the off chance that they might be too overpowered. That's the point of patches, to find the perfect balance. But if Kuro implements these changes I've laid out for both the echoes and also the tuner systems, I think that could revolutionize the artifact, relic, echo, whatever systems that they have in this game. I think people are too afraid of change. Don't fix what isn't broken, as the saying goes. But in my opinion, this system is broken. In the bad sense of the word. So I would really love it if Kuro implements something like this system that I've laid out.
Yeah, I think rerolling is probably fine, but exact crafting is too much. I do think exact crafting is a little bit too much as well. I think rerolling's okay, but I think crafting... Yeah, I mean, overall, I think what he's saying makes sense. There's definitely a problem, and I just feel like the easiest fucking way to do it is just data merge, guys. I fucking... Combine your fucking echoes that are level 0 or whatever, and just X amount equal a tube, you know? I think it's pretty simple. I don't know why nobody does that, or I don't know why they don't do that. because realistically, data merge right now is pretty much useless. The odds of you getting the 3-cost echo that you want of the set that you want with the correct main stat is just not happening. Tiger, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate the hell out of you. You were making a massive cameo in a massive nuclear YouTube video that's gonna get millions of views. But with that being said, let me know what you think. I love you, boys. I'll see you in the next one.